welcome to the Webcast for Monday, May 11th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. Visible satellite this morning shows mostly clear skies across the region. We do have a shallow marine layer spreading low clouds and fog to the coastal and some coastal valley areas, but it is less expansive today than the past couple days, and any marine cloudiness will burn off quickly away from the immediate coast. And it'll set the stage for a very warm day today. Here's a look at some overnight humidity recoveries across the region. These are the maximum RH values since midnight. Recoveries have been good in the lower elevations with the marine influence, but thermal belts have become increasingly active in recent nights, and many of the mid and higher elevations are seeing RH recoveries below 40%, and in some cases even below 20%. High pressure is peaking in strength across the region today, and as a result, today is going to be the hottest day of this warm stretch in most of the region. Here's a look at the forecast highs, with the valleys running well into the 90s to low hundreds, below record values, but still quite hot for this time of year. Minimum humidity will be mainly between 12 and 25% away from the coast, with single digits across the deserts. And winds will remain light and terrain-driven overall today, but southwest to west flow will start to increase a little across the interior this afternoon. Taking a look at the upper air maps for the next several days, we'll see that the first half of this week will remain dominated by this strong area of high pressure. We then see an interruption in this pattern towards the middle of the week as a compact and fast-moving trough of low pressure passes just north of the region Wednesday night and into Thursday. And then by Friday and into the weekend, most indications are that high pressure will build back in, though not as strong as early this week, and possibly with a shift to more of a troughing pattern by early next week. Temperatures on Tuesday will cool significantly west of the coastal slopes as the marine layer deepens, but will cool only slightly across the interior where it will remain quite warm. The deeper marine layer will spread higher humidities further inland on Tuesday, but it will still remain very dry above and inland from the marine influence across the interior. And Tuesday will also feature more wind due to the approaching trough. Southwest to northwest winds over the mountain ridges and desert passes will increase to 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts to 50 miles per hour Tuesday afternoon and evening. And there is one last wild card for Tuesday, and that is a low but present threat for thunderstorm activity over central California from the Central Valley eastward to the Sierra on Tuesday afternoon and evening as a weak, almost monsoonal-type disturbance moves up from the south. While the more likely outcome is just some increased cloudiness and that we don't actually see any convection, any thunderstorms that do occur would likely be fast-moving and dry, so this is still worth keeping an eye on. On Wednesday, as that trough passes to the north, significant cooling will occur region-wide along with further deepening of the marine layer, but temperatures will still remain near to even a little above seasonal normals, and it will still be dry and breezy across the interior. Temperatures will drop a few more degrees on Thursday, which looks to be our coolest and probably overall lowest risk day of the week from a fire weather perspective. As high pressure rebuilds late in the week, renewed warming will occur, though it will not be as hot as early this week. This is a look at forecast highs by Saturday. And right now, the period from Friday through Sunday currently look like fairly similar days to each other, with valley highs in the 80s to low 90s, minimum humidity of 12 to 25% away from the coast, and light but steady onshore flow with some breeziness across the interior. Dead fuel moistures will remain on falling trends for the next couple of days, before leveling out somewhat for mid to late week, especially closer to the coast. We have fallen near to below normal on most classes of dead fuel moisture, and ERC, which is shown here, is trending near to above normal in most of the region and will continue to rise in the coming days, though will still remain near to below the 80th percentile in most areas this week. In terms of fire potential, we expect a fairly busy week for what is typically still a fairly quiet time of the year here in early to mid-May. The warm, dry, and at times breezy weather will bring a daily risk for a new large fire, with the area-wide large fire probability well into the moderate category, above where it would normally be this time of year. Fire potential remains mostly concentrated in the cured low-elevation grasses, though some low to mid-elevation brush, as well as some heavier dead fuels, may start to show some increased receptivity this week as well. There will be potential for rapid rates of spread on well-aligned starts during the peak burn window, and steady, moderate initial attack activity is likely for most of the week. And while the risk is currently assessed as fairly low, the thunderstorm potential for Tuesday should be monitored, as thunderstorms would likely have a high ignition efficiency if they occur due to the antecedent dryness. We'll have a better assessment on that tomorrow morning. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Tuesday, May 12th.